So I'm going to be talking about Collaborate today. So probably most of the people in this room would be aware of what Collaborate is. Just for the people who are watching the recording, this is who's speaking. My name's Tom Bowring. I'm the Blended Learning Staff Developer, as Lene's already told us. And I'm going to be talking about Collaborate. So for those of you who don't know what it is, well, we might as well ask it now because Lene has already brought it up. So who here knows what Collaborate is? You can just put your hand up. Who here has actually used Collaborate before? Who's attended one of our webinars? Oh, so we've got some pretty good. Most of us here have used it. So basically, it's a web conferencing system, and it's designed with education in mind. It was actually called Illuminate, I think was the original product name. Blackboard have brought it out, and they now call it Blackboard Collaborate. But it allows you to have audio and text-based chat. So in views, up to now, we've probably really only had the text-based chat. We now have this audio and text-based chat, so gives you a little bit more sense of who it is you're speaking to. You can also bring in your video, so if you've got a webcam or some other type of camera, you can actually have the video of the speaker on, and if you don't have the video camera, you can actually upload a little still picture and have that as your profile. So it just gives you a bit of more of a sense of the community because you have those images of who's actually speaking to you and hearing their voice. So for those of you who haven't actually seen it before, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what the system is. So there's a screenshot of one of the Collaborate sessions running. As you can see right up the top there, it's got my picture there because I'm the actual one speaking. Below that it has a couple of different little thumbnails, so they're the actual other people who are actually in the system with their video turned on. If they didn't have video turned on but they had a profile picture, it would show their picture there. So at the moment it says it's got me speaking. If Elizabeth, who's the other one here, was going to speak, if she took over speaking, it would automatically change those images around, so she would become the large image and I would go back to being a thumbnail. As you work down the left-hand side here, you can see you've got the list of who's actually in the room. You've got the text-based chat there, so you still have that text-based chat. So if someone's speaking, you don't want to interrupt, you can still type your questions in. And if you've actually been, those who have been to our webinars using Collaborate, you would have seen that happening quite regularly where people are actually talking as well as texting in there. You have a series of little symbols here next to each person's name, and they'll tell you what they've got turned on and what they haven't got on. So if they've got the video turned on, so you can see Mark, who I don't know how he's got the video on because he's right here. You can see he's got that little symbol there, so we know he's got his video turned on. If they've got the microphone there, they've got the microphone turned on. If you've given them moderator privileges, you would see that there as well. You'll see some of them, they've got some little dots next to them, so if they've got two little orange dots, you know, they're getting a delay, getting whatever that content is. So if it's the video that's got the two little orange dots, they've got some sort of delay getting the video, so you know they're a little bit behind you, so you may need to slow your presentation down a little bit for them to keep up. If they've got three red dots, that's when you're in trouble. That's when they're getting a severe delay in the video or audio, whatever it is. And you may need to look at what you're presenting or slow it down so they can get that as well. Three main types of content you can actually put through Collaborate, and that's using these three tools up here. So you've got the first one there is your whiteboard, which is what we're actually showing here. Then you've got the application sharing and the web tour. So with this one here we're showing now is actually the whiteboard, and there's several different ways you can put content onto that. So you can just have a blank whiteboard that you can draw all over. You can see you've got the tools here, and participants have those tools as well, provided you haven't turned them off. As I said, you can take and add privileges to anyone in the room, so you can give them microphone privileges or take them away. You can do that individually or as the whole group. Same with webcam, drawing tools, etc. But as instructed, if you want to load content up to this whiteboard, you can actually just take a PowerPoint and just dump it in there. So normally the way you do that is through that load content button right over the top right there. But if you're lazy like me, if you've got your My Computer window open, you can see your PowerPoint that you want to put in there. Just click and drag and drop it on that grey bar up the top and it'll load it in. So if you've got a PowerPoint with 20 slides in it, it'll create 20 whiteboard sessions. You would normally have a little forward and back button up here, but I actually had that undocked when I was taking these screenshots without realising it. And you would just go next, next, next through the different slides. And so they would look almost identical to your PowerPoint slides. You can also throw a GIF or a JPEG image up there directly as well, so you can use any of those types of content. As I said, you could just have a blank whiteboard and have them draw all over that whiteboard using these tools up the side here. You actually have a look at it going the wrong way. The next one, this one here is in application sharing. So any application you have on your computer, you can share across Collaborate. So in this case here, you see this is actually Photoshop that I've got open here. So normally you would have the Photoshop open on your computer before you start the session, and then resize it so it's about the right size to fit in the content area window. So when you actually open it up, it will actually show in the right area that you want it, and they'll be able to see the whole of the application you're sharing. So as I said, that, in this case I've done that with Photoshop, but that might be Excel, database, any program you've got. You could even open a web browser and show them that way, although you've got the web tour as well. So you can actually, and you can see I've actually opened up one of the menus there and I'm going through and doing something. So they'll actually see whatever you're doing through that. And you can actually pass controls across as well. That's the application sharing. The next one is the web tour. So in this case, I've just taken them out to some website, and there's a little button right up the top here to follow me. If you've got that selected when you go out, once you go to the website, if you click on other links within that website, the students will follow you. You can allow students to go somewhere else, so you might take them out to a website and say, all right, now I want you to go through this website and have a look and find whatever it is you want them to find. And then so long as you have that follow me ticked, if you say, all right, now I'm going to bring you back, and you click on a link, it'll bring them from wherever they are to follow you again. So you can bring them back to wherever you are. If you don't tick that, once they go out there, you go somewhere else, they don't follow you anymore. So if you want them to follow you, make sure you've got that follow me ticked. Moving on. So that's the three main ones you've got up there, but you also have file sharing. So in this case, I've shared a file across to all the participants in the room. So rather than have to go and email a file out to all the participants, and you're not sure who all the participants are, once they're in the room, if you do a file sharing, this little box will come up for them, and then they can download that file. So whether that's something that you're using in a class, or if you're using this for a meeting across campuses, you might have the meeting notes that you're sending across to all meeting participants. So you don't have to email them out, you can actually share them through the Collaborate room. Again. Alright, this one here is different again, so you'll actually notice up the top it's a multimedia window, and we've got the play bar down the bottom, so it's actually sharing video. So you can share video across there as well. The thing to remember about that is, it is bandwidth intensive, so you may get delays. What you can do to get around that is if you go into the room early and upload all your videos before the session, tell your students to come in 10, 15 minutes early, it downloads all the videos in the background. So even if they get there right on time and you're not showing the video till the 20-minute mark, in that 20 minutes it'll keep downloading those videos. But that may also impede whatever else you're doing, that may slow that down as well. So if you're going to use a lot of video, good idea to get in there, upload it first, and make sure you invite your students to be in there early. Even if they just come in 20 minutes early, leave it open, walk away, do whatever. So it gives those videos time to download so you don't get the delay issues. The other thing you can do is polling and quizzing. So you can ask a question within it. So in this case, I've actually got the question as part of the PowerPoint that I uploaded to it, but you could just verbally ask the question. So you might, at the beginning of a session, ask a poll question to get an understanding of where your students are at the time. And then you can actually publish that so students can all see how they went. It doesn't show who selected what answers, but as you can see, it gives you sort of 2 out of 6, in this case, selected answer A, 2 out of the 6 selected B, 1 selected C, and 1 didn't participate at all. If you're actually interested, the correct answer is B. So yeah, you can do that. So you might come back at the end of the session, ask the same or similar question to see whether you've actually got more correct responses, and hopefully you have. So what's new? We've already asked this question, thanks. So, yeah. But the main thing is, up until now, it's been a standalone product, which has its benefits and its drawbacks, but it's actually come under the IT's governance. And if you actually wanted to have a Collaborate room, you actually had to do like this young fella here, go with your hand in, spoon in your hand and say, please sir, I want some more, and ask IT. So you'd actually go to them and you'd have to fill out the... It's got the attribution there, it's okay. So yeah, and I'm not trying to be derogative to IT at all, because for me they've always been very responsive, but it is just a process that you need to follow. So you need to go and go into ServiceNow, book a job and say, you know, can you please create me a Collaborate room with this name? The person who replies to all those looks at that and says, oh, that belongs to the Collaborate team, sends it off to them, and then if they're not in a meeting or on holidays or whatever, they'll create that room for you straight away and you get that. So, as I said, to me they've been very responsive, and it's usually been within half a day, but sometimes it has been longer, and if you're in a rush to get a room done, it may not be for you. Beauty is now, Collaborate is incorporated into Views. So, no longer do you have to go through that long-winded process. If you want a room straight away, all you basically have to do is flick a switch in your site. The beauty of that is, the person who flicks that switch is you. So if you want that room now, you can do that room now. So if you wanted that room, all you need to do is go into Views, go into the Customisation, Tool Availability, tick Collaborate, and then it's straight away available in your content areas, and you can just add a Collaborate room, and it'll be ready 5 minutes after you've created it. If I say yes, don't tell Kathy I said yes, but yes it is now. When you're in Views, you've got to have instructor access, obviously. You go to the control panel, go down to Customisation, and then Tool Availability, and it lists all the tools. Find Collaborate in that list, and there's a tick box right over to the right-hand side. Just tick that box and submit. And then you go back to any content area, etc., where you can add things, and Collaborate will show up under there, and you just follow the bouncing ball, basically. Aren't we supposed to leave questions till the end? Is there a cheat sheet for that? No, not at this stage, because it's only just been implemented at the moment with the upgrade to Service Pack 12, and it will be fully available next semester. But at this stage, as I said, it's only just been done, so we haven't had a chance to resource it yet. But I'm presuming there will be a resource available by the start of next semester. Did I say that? Don't hold me to that. All right. Damn, we've been recorded. So some of the benefits of it, it supports multiple learning styles, so you have the audio, the visual, the reading, all those sorts of things. So we're catering for several learning styles, not just one. It helps build those learning communities, because you're not just typing it in and reading something, you're actually seeing that person, whether it's video or a still picture. You're hearing that voice, so it gives you a real sense of who you're talking to. Negates the need to travel, and as we all know on this multi-campus university, we do quite a lot of travelling. I'm sure half of us, I know my team spent about an hour getting here today, so we could have collaborated in and saved that. You can have a guest lecturer, so if you can organise somebody from England, Europe, France, wherever, you can give them access to your site and they could actually do a guest lecture through Collaborate. The sessions can be recorded. It's up to you whether you record them or not. You can actually set it up when you actually fill out the form to get one created. You can either have it automatically, so as soon as you open it, it'll start recording, or you can manually, and I would suggest manually, because usually the first 5 or 10 minutes is only set up anyway, so you don't want that recorded. But it's fairly obvious, the record button's up the top right. And as we all know, we want to minimise environmental impact, or that carbon footprint that they all talk about. So, yeah, we can do that. So it's not only for teaching purposes, but as I said, you might, if your school is across several campuses and you need to have a school meeting for some reason or other, you can do that through Collaborate, and they don't need to travel from Bankstown to Penrith or wherever. They can just go to the Collaborate room and enter those. Same as if those who have attended any of our webinars, and there's one on communication collaboration tomorrow that's in Collaborate if you're interested. Yeah, you don't need to travel to, whereas before we used to do all face-to-face workshops and you'd have to travel to Penrith or to wherever else. It was never the campus you were on. Now you just go into a Collaborate room from your office, your home, wherever, and you're into the system. Some of the things you might use it for, tutorials and study sessions, lectures or workshops. You might have a face-to-face lecture one week and an online lecture in Collaborate the next week and alternate like that. We've already said you can bring in guest lecturers, student presentations. So if you've got students need to come in and give a presentation and for some reason a student can't come in or they're all online, you can give moderator permissions to a student. So they can upload their content, they can take you on a video, an application sharing or a web tour, so they can do their whole presentation via Collaborate and you can sit there and watch it from your office while they're giving it from their home. You can also make a room available for group work, so if they want to come in and do some work together rather than all having to travel to campus, they can actually go in and do their group work in their Collaborate room. some mentoring, virtual office hours. We've advertised this sort of thing before, but if you've got, I'm going to be available for the students to come and talk to me in my office on Tuesdays between 9 and 11, well, why not have the Collaborate room open as well? So they can just come into the Collaborate and talk to you there, so they don't have to make a special trip into campus to ask you a question that's going to take 5 minutes. And as I've already said, you can use this also for your school unit or course meetings rather than have to travel across the campuses. So what do you need to actually run a session? Obviously you need a computer to start off with, although no, take that back, you don't need a computer. You can do it on an iPad. There is an iPad app for Collaborate, so you can actually come in through an iPad, but you can't moderate from an iPad, so if you're going to be a moderator, you need a computer. It's obviously you need to be connected to the internet with a reasonably modern web browser. It does use Java, but most computers got Java on that, but if you don't have it, it'll ask you to install it anyway. You can use a standalone microphone, but we would suggest you do use one like Picture. The one that's showing up there is the one that I actually use, the Microsoft Light Chat. So if you've just got a standard stalk microphone and you're doing that, and you'll start picking up what other people are saying, you start getting reverberation. So it's better if you've got the headset with the microphone on it as well. I've got the webcam separated because you don't necessarily need a webcam, but if you want to project video, then obviously you need a webcam or some sort of camera. But you said you can just upload a still photo and use that as your profile. Your profile can also have things like your name, your email address, your phone number, your office location, also those sorts of things. And then when a student puts their mouse over your name, that'll pop up as a little, like a business card, basically. If you want a fairly rounded idea on using Collaborate, if you actually search Google for this paper, Designing for Participant Engagement with Blackboard Collaborate, it's by Peter Chatterton. It's actually it's quite a large document, but it actually goes through the technical side, the using, the support, and all the aspects of actually using. It also looks at the pedagogical sides of things and why you might do things pedagogically as well. That's quite a good document to download as well.